G'day everyone and welcome back to Nat's Knackers Yard, and this is the Znen 125 or Tommy or various other names that it's got, and it's stripped out a little bit, as you'll notice. So I've been a little bit busy throughout the week doing bits and pieces where I can. So obviously the sorted rear wheel's on, the exhaust is on, the back end is pretty much squared away. I've managed to chuck some paint at the frame, and a lot of it's hit, some of it missed. Taking the front off, taking the mudguard off, and I'll go into that in a sec. I managed to do the stem on the front wheel, on the front tyre. It took me the best part of 2 days pissing around getting it wrong, for the very simple reason that when I took the old stem off, obviously you're looking at the back wheel, but I can't get to the front wheel at the moment. When I took the stem off, snapped it off as I did the other one, the bottom bung fell into the tyre. So I ended up having to effectively take the tyre off, not all the way off, but both beads off to get that bit of bung out, which was really annoying. And then trying to reset it, I really struggled because I don't have a pressure hose. So I was trying to do it with a track pump, with a normal pump, and it just doesn't have enough oomph behind it. Eventually I kind of, out of desperation, hit the internet and found the way of doing it with fire. Basically, so spraying in some quick start, spray it around the edge, light it, boom, it suits the beads. Didn't film it because it's pretty dangerous and I don't want people copying me or trying to do the same and taking any element of responsibility for that. So it is a shame. It would have made a really good video, but yeah, I just didn't really want to tag that onto my watch lists. But it works. Now, the one bit that they don't say in the videos is if you do that to reset the bead, it's fine, but you then need to pump it up really quick, because obviously it's the rapid expansion of the explosion inside that pushes out the wheel, but then once it's spent all that fuel, it will contract again and it will pop back out. So you have to be really prepared to just pump it up like a bad boy straight afterwards. Right, let's have a look at some of the parts. Okay, so I've got the big panels up and primed. I give them a bit of a rub down first. I needed to go quite a lot over the Znen stickers to really whittle them back, because they were lacquered over. Has to be said, not with a lot of lacquer, but enough to leave a ridge. So I've rubbed those down to get them as smooth as I suppose need be, rather than necessarily I want. I need to take I say chrome, it's plastic with chrome covering, but I need to take that off. I need to take the sticker off on that. So bit of heat, sharp blade, carry on. Now the mud guard, I really don't know what's going on with the MOT when they MOT'd this last. I think the previous owner, because they did absolutely nothing but top up the oil and then hope it will go through, just pissed them off. Because this bike got destroyed on its MOT, and all the stuff that I've done doesn't really merit the destroying that it got. For example, they were talking about the front wheel bearings being, grinding. I've replaced them, but they weren't bad. One was a little bit shaky, but it wasn't grinding. This was loose and dangerous, apparently. Now, the only reason it was loose, it looked loose and dangerous, because it just popped out the edges. It would have taken 30 seconds to fix. But the one thing that is on there is I'm missing a chunk. Now, I would love to build that back up, plastic it up, build it up, shape it, etc. But for the bike, it's just not worth it. So I'm going to get my Dremel out and just cut the whole thing back to a more suitable level. I'll just grab a pen, I think, and just draw on it and try and find a decent angle so it doesn't look too wanky. It is the back end, so it's only really seen on full lock, so I'm not overly concerned. So I'm going to give these a clean up, give them a scrub down. I'm not sure I'll film me cutting this, but I will show you the end result. Right, so a few minutes with my little cutting disc on my, well, it's not a Dremel, but you know what a Dremel is, on my, known as Nick Jr., or welcome back to the fold, Nick, is that result. It's not perfect, but it'll do. And it doesn't look too bad, and certainly won't look too bad when sprayed up. Right, so I'm going to, oh, really don't want it rolling down the garden though. Yeah, what am I going to do? I'm going to clean off the other surfaces, clean off that, give it a scrub down with some half decent whatever I've got, probably about 320, just to key in the surface a little bit and see if I can get some primer on before it pisses down. Cool. Well, I think the enormity of the task of painting a scooter like this is just starting to come to me. There's a lot of surface area there, a lot. Anyway, that's primed. I'm going to put a bit more primer on the arse end because I ran out, but I've got more now. I may get the black on today, I don't know. I'll have to see how I go. But yeah, it's getting there. The plans for the rest of the bike, the running elements are fine. They're absolutely bangers. I've decided not to blank out the EGR. It's not causing issues. If it ain't broke, don't fix. So I'll leave that as is. I need to buy a reminder that you need to order a horn. The horn is knackered. Yeah, I've checked the actual horn itself and it's just not working. So I'll order a new one of those. And it's all the levers and the top elements that I need to work through. So what I'm going to do, I've got a finite amount of space, so the easiest way to do it, and having paintwork lying around and panels lying around is dangerous because you are going to break them. It's just to basically piece together the back half, I think, and work on the front. But we'll see how we get. Cool, catch you later. Right then, the weather's not looking fab, but we're kind of rubbed down. Trying to work out whether or not it's going to rain, but I'm going to go for the dust coat anyway, so I'm not too concerned one way or the other. Right, so as usual, I've got my paint warming. Can't stress that enough, it makes so much difference. It's such an easy thing to do. Spray with warm paint. Right, let's get going. A couple of dust coats. And we're back. I'm being supervised. Right, but yeah. Black done. So that is 2 of the 500ml cans of Halford's Finest matte, which I'm now a convert to from satin because it polishes up beautifully, but it just goes on easier, I think, than satin, and certainly easier than gloss. So I'm going to leave it out to cure for probably a couple of hours. And then I may do the dappling effect today. I'll see how I get on. I'll see how far the goodwill extends, the domestic goodwill extends, as to whether or not I can play in the garden. But yeah, I think if I do it, I'm not going to film it because it's probably going to be the light will start to fade and it won't look particularly good. So what's up next? Tomorrow is my candy coat has arrived for this. So I might try and candy this, which I'm looking forward to. It's just good fun. And then what I'm going to do is have a look at the ER5. So that's the goldy, the prettier one of the two, if you like. I had a buyer come in to look at it and it just stopped going again. Turning over, not catching, turning over, not catching. I know the carbs have been dug out. I know it's got spark. I've changed the coils. I'm really chasing my my arse slightly on the issues with it. The only thing that I can think of is that there's some. I think it's flooding. I can't smell strong fuel, but I think it's flooding. So between painting and sorting out the other bits on the bike, I'm going to break out the R5, and I think I'm going to have a go at the carbs if I get the time, because I think it's float heights. I think they're not quite right, therefore it's putting too much fuel through and it hasn't got enough spark to ignite that fuel. I don't think it's drastically flooding because I'm not smelling petrol, strong petrol, you always smell a bit of petrol, but I think it's enough that it's giving it too much to spark. But we'll see. Cool, that'll do me for the day. Thanks all, I'll catch you later on. And as usual, I come back after I've said I'm going. Yeah, I've managed to get the silver on, managed to get the dapple on. Loving it. I think this bike is going to look good. I've gone quite heavy on the silver because I want to bring a lot of colour through. Now the only slight concern that I've got is A previous time I've tried using blue candy, it's gone green. It was a different brand, but it's not what I'm after. But frankly, I don't really care, because I think this is going to look cool one way or another. Be nice if it ended up a vivid blue, but I've no idea whether or not that's going to work. But we shall see. We shall see. Right, cheers all. I'll catch you later, and stay tuned for more updates on this little Chinese scooter that is going to look as cool as you like.